Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good morning. Yeah. It must be very, very early for Patrick. Yeah, I'm sure the dawn is not there yet, right? It's still in darkness, and you're awake for us all over the world. Yeah, can everybody say hello to Patrick in the chat and say where you are tuning in from? Okay, let's give the applause to Patrick in the chat, right? I'm so happy for you to be here, Patrick, yeah, and to support us, to share with us your wisdom, and over so many years, yeah, we have people tuning in from Seremban, Singapore, yeah. Where else do we have? Yeah. Oh, hi, Miri, yeah, and I think we even have Margaret in the house. Yeah. Oh, Houston. Great. Yeah. We have people, Kuala Lumpur. We have people from all parts of the world tuning in to listen to our, one of our legendary new skin leader, yeah, to share with us all his thoughts. So let's get ready because he's going to talk about creating a life of freedom, and he is living it already today. So over 2 decades ago, Patrick Baum was grinding in health club management, putting in long hours, watching other people live the life he dreamed of. Does anyone resonate with that? Yeah, you're building someone else's dream rather than yours. Yeah. But instead of settling, Patrick made a bold decision to change his story, and you could change yours too today. And that decision led him to New Skin. Fast forward 21 years, and Patrick has built a business that spans across the globe. He's a Circle of Excellence 1 member, a $1 million plus earner, a Blue Diamond leader, and the chief ambassador for Nourish the Children, helping feed and impact kids around the world. But what makes Patrick truly special isn't just the accolades, it's his why. He built this business as a single dad, raising his daughter, and 6 years ago, everything changed again when he met the love of his life, Tracy. Yeah, one day we will love Tracy to come and share with us too, okay? So today, Patrick and Tracy built this business together, side by side, raising their 3 incredible kids, Aspen, Savannah, and Noble. Wow, very nice names. And living a life of freedom, flexibility, and purpose as a family. He's a leader, a visionary, a living example of what happens when you bet on yourself. And his mantra says it all: for things to change, I have to change. For things to get better, I have to get better. So here I am, Irene Fu from Malaysia, would like to bring on Patrick Baum. So let's tune up the energy, get on your feet, and let's give lots of love and hearts for Patrick Baum in the house. Over to you, Patrick.
Wow, thank you, Irene. That was like this. That was an amazing introduction. It's incredible to be here with all of you. And Irene, thank you for inviting me. It's great that we get to connect with people literally from all over the world. And I've known Pat and Marguerite, and I'm connected with Irene, and I see there's some people on here that I see their names, and I know who you are. And so I just want to say thank you. It's a privilege for me. And that's the best part about this business is I love it. I love what it does. I love how we're able to lift each other and build each other up around the world. And it's like nothing else that we have. The ability to create a business where instead of like trying to tear people down and get to a position, we have a business where we get to lift each other and we get to build each other up, and at the same time win, right? We all get a win. And so that's what's so amazing. So well, thanks, Irene. And for the next 30 minutes or so, I love those videos. You guys, really, after watching those videos, I don't need to say anything. I mean, really, that's how it is, right? It's like, it's incredible the opportunity we have before us. But I'll dive in and let's get started, Irene, and let's talk. And I'm going to share my story with you guys in the beginning, and then I'll go through our 5-point business presentation. I assume there's people on here, hopefully, that are new to the business and or have been invited for the first time. Like this is like maybe your first time listening to this. And I hope I could share with you exactly why we're so excited with Nu Skin and where we're going and what we're doing right now. and really how you can participate. And that's what we want to share, is we want to show you something that hopefully you can participate in that will change your life, just like it has for many people that maybe be on this call or that are listening to this in the future. Because that's what this is really about, is sharing something that will give you a life of flexibility and give you a life of leverage, where you can create something that will pay you forever. And so I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we'll jump in and we'll get started with our 5-point presentation and explaining why we're so excited with Nu Skin. Now, one of the things that we're so excited about literally is what's happening with Prism IO. And hopefully you know a little bit about this. Maybe someone talked to you and said, hey, you have to take a look at what's going on with Prism IO. And that's what happened to me 21 years ago. Is I positioned myself in front of the first wave of the biophotonic scanner when it launched. It actually had just come out. We just come out with version 1 of the biophotonic scanner, when a friend of mine came to me and said, hey, Patrick, you need to take a look at what's going on with Nu Skin. What he didn't know was that I'd been looking for this. Like Irene said, I'd been building someone else's dream. I was working 12 hours a day while they were on the golf course for 8 hours a day. And I said, something's got to change. And so I put it out there, and lo and behold, my friend came to me and said, take a look at Nu Skin. What he didn't know is I'd been approached 5 other times. The reality of it is those 5 other people never followed up with me. And he followed up with me. It was actually a she. She followed up with me and introduced me to my sponsor. And it was crazy what happened, because I saw their lifestyle. I saw what he had created. And that's what I wanted. He had flexibility. He had leverage. They didn't want me to sell something. He showed me something I could have. He showed me the lifestyle I could have, and that's what sold me. And so I jumped in, I got involved, and over the next few years, we began to build this business, and we followed the system. And over time, the business began to take on a mind of its own, and it wasn't about me anymore. As we began to, build, in different places, and my business expanded, to different countries. It was awesome what happened. I was able to create that leverage after a few years, and I started traveling the world. I went to 26 different countries over 3 years building this business. It was incredible. And then 14 years ago, my daughter was born, and I went from traveling the world to having a whole new world as a single stay-at-home full-time dad for most of her life. And I was able, because of certain situations, I raised her by myself for most of her years when she was younger. And, it was amazing because of what I had built. I didn't have to put her in daycare. I didn't have to go into a job. I was able to raise her every single day since the day she was born. And then 6.5 years ago, I was at a Nu Skin convention, and I ran into this beautiful woman there. And we became friends. 6 months later, started dating. A year after that, we got married. And for the past 5.5, almost 6 years now, we've been able to build this business together. And that's the best part, is now we get to go help other people build their dreams and goals, just like what we're doing. And that's what creates such an amazing win-win situation. Now, let's talk. That's my story, but let's talk about, let's set the stage for what we're going to talk about today. This is Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant. And if you haven't read the book, I recommend that you go read it. It's incredible. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant. And Robert talks about going from the left side of the cash flow quadrant into the right. The reality of it is we have no leverage on the left side. And this is where 95% of people are in the world. They're employees or they're self-employed. Now, this doesn't mean you can't be successful in these quadrants, because I know people that have a job, and you guys, they've done really well. And I know people that are self-employed, and they do really well. The difference is, though, they don't own their life. They have no leverage, meaning if they stop doing what they're doing, they don't get paid anymore. And so to have a business or a system that will allow you to have leverage, where you can take off and travel for 2 years, or you can raise your daughter and not have to go into a job. That business in that system allows you, that's my story, right? That allows you to have that business that will pay you every single month. And then, of course, getting into the I quadrant, having your money work for you from all the money. And I'll talk about that here in just a minute. But this is where we want to be, and this is what Nu Skin can create. We have a system that allows you to have a business that will create this passive income for you, and it's pretty cool what we have. Now, I'm going to go over 5 key points here that we'll talk about what separates Nu Skin from everybody else out there in the world. I actually went to business school, and in business school, we studied these 5 key points, and I didn't realize it then that I would be talking about these key points today regarding Nu Skin. However, we would analyze companies, and we would, you know, at the end of the day, we would see companies that were hitting on 2 of these key points, right? And they were really successful. If you hit on 3, you were like an amazing company. But rarely did you see someone hit on all 5 of these key points. And these were the unicorns out there in the world, the businesses, they call them the unicorns, right? The Apples, the Microsofts, the Googles, all these companies, right? And these are but Nu Skin fits right here. And we truly believe that where we're going and what we have, we are one of those unicorn companies. And so let's dive in and talk about these. Now, you watched the video in the beginning here, and it talked about the market trends, all that's happening. I want to specifically hit on the wellness trends. Okay, we know there's the gig economy, and we know that people are trending with technology and everything. But let's talk about wellness, you guys. Anti-aging, biohacking, behavioral change, the nutritional industry itself. Well, why is this such a trend? Well, the reality of it is people are living longer, and there's this thing called lifespan versus youth span. And I was talking with a friend yesterday, and he says, I don't envy my parents. He goes, they're living longer, but they don't have the lifestyle. And I said, that's exactly what's going on in the world, is people are living longer, but they're also recognizing this at an earlier age. So now you're starting to see people change their lifestyle so they can match their lifespan with their youth span, so they can live longer better. And they're starting to spend their money on things that, at a younger age, that allow them to live longer better and have a better lifestyle as they grow older. And so you're seeing people spend billions and hundreds of billions of dollars on nutrition. Now, we need to update this slide because we know now it's about $480 billion, the global supplement industry. Okay, it is increasing rapidly every year. Here in the US, and I know the countries you guys are, we have people from all over the world. We're 60 billion. I think we're up to almost 100 billion in nutritional and the nutritional supplement market. And whatever country you're in India, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, it's growing like crazy. So people are spending money on the things that will help them as they age, that'll help them look better, feel better, and it's not just older people, you guys, it's younger people. I have a daughter, she's 18, and she is literally into this, right? She is doing things that help her. My daughter that's 14, same thing. They're doing things because they know, they see me. I'm 54 years old coming up here in a couple of months. And they're like, I want to be like my dad when he's 54, climbing mountains and running marathons and doing things. And so they know it starts at a younger age. And so now they're spending money. My daughter goes to work. She spends her money on her stuff. It's crazy. And so they're also, with the advent of the internet, you're seeing people sharing what they're doing, right? Biohacking is massive right now. People, sharing their tips and tricks on what helps them, change, what helps them have better skin, what helps them look better, what helps them be healthier, what helps them be stronger, what's improving all of these things, right? So my wife, last year, she was working so hard. Her body started to change, and she says, Patrick, I am not where I want to be. And so she went out and she literally within a few months biohacked her way back to where she wanted to be. She lost weight because she changed up her nutritional supplements with some of our nutritional supplements. She started eating differently. She started changing her sleep habits. She started working out differently, and she literally within a few months just went boom right back to where she had her tighter and firmer skin. She looked better. She was healthier. She has more energy. I mean, it was incredible, the change. And she biohacked her way back to this using some of our devices. As you can see, she loves her well spa. I mean, it was incredible. And this is what's going on all over the world. And people are sharing this on their social media. And that's what she did. She went out and shared it on her social media. And what happened? People are like, well, what did you do? And she was able to then share with them, hey, You know what we do, right? We share the products and then we invite them to the business. It was pretty incredible. Now, the other massive trend that's happening, you guys, is companies coming out with having the ability to measure. And there's been billion-dollar industries that have been created. And I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but there have been billion-dollar industries created with the ability to measure certain biomarkers. And you gotta, and this is a talking point about where we're going with our company and what we're able to do and what we're able to measure. But look at, like, for example, Apple Watches. Who in here is wearing an Apple Watch or some type of smartwatch? It's measuring biomarkers right now as it's on your skin. You guys know that, right? It's measuring how you sleep. It's measuring, you know, different things. Why? Well, so you can know or have the information so you can then go out and change it. Look at the Oura Ring, over 500 million and growing in sales. You know, there's a whole $20 billion statin drug industry to measure cholesterol. Well, how does this, why are we talking about this? Well, this is where we come in with the biophotonic scanner and now the Prism IO, what we're about ready to launch, is we have the ability to measure wellness. We have the ability to measure whether or not the nutritional supplements you're putting in your body are actually working. And in a world where measurement is so important and industries are growing from the ability to measure, we're positioned perfectly in front of this massive wave that's about to happen. And I'm going to dive into this here in just a minute. But I'm going to set the stage by talking about who Nu Skin is first, okay? Who we are as a company before we jump into that, so you know and understand that you have a partner. If you decide to do this as a business, or you decide to commit to doing this long term, to create this life of flexibility and leverage, you need to know you have a partner that will allow you to grow a business, to create an amazing life. And that is who Nu Skin is. You know, it's a company of over 40 years. We do over, we've been doing over $1 billion in revenue for over 21 years. So this isn't just some startup, guys. This is a proven company that's established itself with being open in 48 markets around the world. We're paying commissions over $21 billion. We're a company of science and innovation. I mean, it's incredible. The deeper you dive into the company, the better it gets. We're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, right? These are all great talking points on what separates Nu Skin from every other company out there in the business. But we also have a heart. Many of you that may be on here that are watching this know that this is a passion of ours, and to nourish the children, or our Force for Good Foundation, where we're able to help children all over the world by giving them these amazing Vitameals. And we purchase the bag then gets distributed all over the world through our partners, literally eradicating malnourishment and hunger in entire countries. And it's pretty amazing what we've been able to do. If you look at this presentation today and at the end you say, Patrick, Nu Skin is not for me. I like it, but it's just not for me. That's okay. But then get it on a subscription of Vitameal so you can save a child around the world. It's a pretty incredible program. We're almost up to 1 billion meals fed. And you guys, we're a company of science and innovation. We're an anti-aging research and development company. We're continually creating products that are exclusive, that have patents that no one else has in the world. In fact, I was talking with one of our founders, Sandy Tillotson, and Joe Chang. I've had this conversation with him. He's like, if we're going to create products that no one else can do, that's what we do. If we're not number one or number two, we're not going to put that product out. We will be at the top. And that's what separates us from everyone else. And we have a team of scientists, 70 plus scientists that go in and create these amazing products, doing clinical research on our products, not the ingredients. Okay, now, many of you know, you go down to, for example, a mall and you might see a kiosk there where they're selling tea green. And they'll talk about the research on tea green, but they're not talking about the clinicals on their own products. What they're doing is talking about tea green. So I ask them and I say, well, what's the research on your product? And they're like, well, we don't know. 99% of companies, this is how it is in the world. With Nu Skin, it's different. We actually do clinicals, double blind, crossover, I'm not a scientist, right? That wasn't my forte. But I can tell you this, all of the research has been done on our products to prove that they do what they say they'll do. And that's what differentiates us from everyone else out there in the marketplace. And, you know, look at our age lock technology. It has done over $15 billion, just that technology alone, right? And so our products work. They attack aging at its source. They demonstrate the difference. They do what they say they're going to do. We're exclusive on most of our products. And then also the research is amazing. We're collaborated with the top research facilities around the world. We have our own research facilities, but we're also collaborated with some of the top universities in the world to help us do these studies and create products that are, you know, that no one else has in the world, and that we can go out then and share with everybody to create an amazing business. We're a company of innovation, you know, research, creativity, and we continually improve our products. It's pretty incredible what we're able to do. Now, let's dive in and talk about Prism IO. Okay, hopefully you are invited to this call today because someone said, hey, you have to take a look at what is coming out. And this is one of my favorite things that we have going on. Like I said, when I started my business 21 years ago, we just, you know, come out with the biophotonic scanner. And now 21 years later, we have this amazing technology. It's going to be pretty incredible. Okay, so let's set the stage. Why Prism IO? Well, out there in the world, you guys, we you know, measuring antioxidants. Well, why do we need to measure? Why do we need antioxidants? And more importantly, why do we need to measure them? Well, the reality of it is our body every single day is being attacked by what we call free radicals. Okay, this is you know, environmental stressors, or, you know, the sun. We're talking about pollution, right? That's attacking our body every day, breaking down our cells, the food we eat, you know, the stress that we have, right? Exercise and sleep, right? If you smoke, or radiation, or anything out there that will attack our body and break it down, causing our cells to mutate. If you take an apple, what happens when you split it in half? Instantly, the air starts oxidating the apple, causing it to turn brown. Well, this is what's happening to our body every day. So what do you do to the apple to protect it? You put a little lemon juice on it. Lemon juice is high in antioxidants, right? It will protect the cells of the apple, keeping it from turning brown and decaying, right? Well, this is what we need to do to our body too. So every single day, we have to do things to our body that will protect it from all of this damage that's happening, that's causing us to, you know, our skin to age, causing us to get spots. What do you think is happening on the inside of our body? It's the same thing. We're aging, right? Things are happening to break our body down, which causes disease. Our cells mutate, causing disease, causing all, you know, I can go on and on talking about that. So how do we protect our body? Well, it comes through antioxidants. Now, how do we get antioxidants? Well, normally we have to get antioxidants through through fruits and vegetables, right? Through a diet of fruits and vegetables. That's where the vitamins, nutrients, and minerals come to allow us to protect our body. But the reality of it is, we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables to get the amount of antioxidants to help us with every single one of these health aspects that you see here. Our gut health, immune health, cardio health, brain health, skin health, bone health, eye health, joint health, metabolic health. Cellular support from antioxidants will help increase the wellness in every one of these areas, right? But we have to have them. And so we supplement. We eat well, and then we supplement. But here's the question, okay? Now that we know we have to supplement to be healthy, we have to have nutrients in our body to be healthy, the question out there is, what supplements are we taking? This is the confusion. You go down the aisle of the store, and what happens? There are 100 supplements, and you're going, okay, what do I need to take? Thousands of supplements. And the other question is, how do I even know that what I'm putting in my body actually works? This is where we come in. And this is the power of Prism IO, because you deserve to know and measure what matters. And that is your antioxidant status in the tissue of your body, showing you and telling you that what you're putting in your body is actually working. You guys, no one else in the world can do this except for us. We've been doing this for years now. You watched the video at the beginning. 22 years ago, the biophotonic scanner was introduced to us at the University of Utah, where they were measuring antioxidant status and in the eye in regards to macular degeneration of the eye. They figured they could do it. They knew they could do it in the tissue. We went in and said, we want the rights to this. We then took this technology, we shrunk it down and got it into this S3 version where it was faster, portable, and more sleeker. And what we've been able to do over the past 14 to 20 years, especially with the S3 version 14 years ago, is we put it out into our distribution force, and we've been able to scan the world, giving people the biomarker of whether or not the antioxidant status in their body is high or low, and being able to feed them nutritional products and watch their score go up. And we've been able to scan over 20 million scans in the last 14 years. And then what we did is we took all of this data and we put it into these new AI learning machines, right? And we created that. What kind of came out of this, all of this technology that we have in today's world, is this new device called the Prism IO that will measure within 15 seconds or less now whether or not the supplements or the food that you're eating is being effective, and we can measure the saturation levels of the antioxidants, giving you your wellness score, your health score. Okay? And what we're going to be able to do now is share this around the world. Whereas the reality of it is for the last 21 years, you guys, we've had about 5,000 of the scanners out there, the biophotonic scanners in the world. Why? Because they were expensive to make. You had to lease them every single month. Okay? You had to, not too many of us had them. And when you wanted to go scan someone, you had to find someone who had a scanner if you didn't have one. And so it wasn't duplicable in our business. But now, with the invention of the Prism IO, this is about ready to go out into the masses. They've created this device that we'll be able to have it for every customer eventually. Imagine every single brand rep, every single affiliate with Nu Skin, and every single customer being able to have one of these in their home. That's the difference. And you might go, okay, so what's that going to do for the customer, Patrick? Maybe that's your question. Well, this is where, and guys, yes, this is validated through science, okay? Before we move on, it's validated. I could talk to you about all the different studies about why and how the biophotonic scanner or the Prism IO works, but just know this is the latest study. It just came out of Yale. It's the best way to measure fruit and vegetable or supplementation intake, and it's the best way to create behavioral change, okay? We've been able to create the most amazing products because we've been able to actually feed people, give people a score, like I said, give them nutritional supplements, have them eat healthier, measure them again, watch their score go up. And along the way, guess what? We could, make changes to our products, make them better, and watch their score keep going up. No one else in the world has been able to do this. And because of this measurement, we've been able to create the best products in the world. Okay? But what we're able to do over the years and having this Prism IO, you guys, it is creating behavioral change. It is creating the ability to have these in the home where literally, well, I have a friend, okay? He has one of these. There's about 300 of these Prism IOs out there in the world right now. His kids are fighting every single day with each other, trying to raise their score. They're competing with each other. Why? Because it's in the home now. It's like the children are measuring and going, well, how can I get my score up? Well, I need to eat better. I need to take nutritional supplements. And then what happens? I have a friend, the wife and the husband measured the other day, and the husband beat the wife. So what do you think the wife did? She goes, man, I'm so upset that my husband has a higher score than me. So she's going to go out and start taking more supplements. She's changing her lifestyle. She's doing things different. This is what's happening. And what do you think is going to happen when we put this in every single home? It's the company's vision to have 10 million healthy homes, you guys. So there will be 10 million of these Prism IOs around the world. That's what our goal is. Imagine. So the question you have is, how many am I going to have in my organization? Because we're the only ones in the world that have the ability to measure. And you guys, I'm going to tell you this. In the future, it's not going to be just antioxidants. We're going to be able to measure a lot of other biomarkers. It's going to be pretty incredible. Okay, now, not diving into this, but we are the world's #1 in-home beauty device company too. Many of you know, if you're on this call and you've been here, these products are amazing, right? Just know it's wellness is an overall picture. It's about beauty from the inside, from the outside in, and wellness from the inside out. And that's what we do. And these are some of the results. We have products that literally help with fine lines and wrinkles, taking away cellulite, acne, literally making you look younger, tightening and firming the skin. I could go on and on about this. But today we're talking about Prism, and more specifically, we're going to dive into the opportunity and talk about India. Okay. Now, we have paid out now we've talked about the trends, we've talked about the company, and we've talked about Prism.io. And if you're not excited yet, then okay, we need to have another conversation. But I get super excited about Prism.io. But this is what I get really excited about. If you're going to go do something, you want to get paid. We want to make money. Nu Skin has paid out over $20 billion in commissions. We're one of 2 companies to do this. You guys, we're the unicorn in our industry. No one else has done this other than one other company. And you look at the thousands of companies that are out there. So this is what it looks like. Look at the brand representative. This is the first level of leadership where you come in our business. This is about you, and you create a business and you get paid about $500 to $600 a month. Now, in your prospective markets where you are around the world, this may vary just a little bit, maybe up, maybe a little bit lower, but these are the averages here in North America. It's pretty incredible. Now, as you start to build teams and you start to follow our system, the partner levels and the director levels, okay, you get to that blue diamond level. That's where my eyes go. And this is monthly income, you guys, monthly passive income. And we're able to show this because we're a publicly traded company. These are our real numbers. And this is what's so amazing about Nu Skin. So it's possible. You can go out and create something. And you guys, there are levels way higher than this that we don't show. And so you can get with the person that invited you and they'll tell you about really the potential and what we're able to do. But let's talk about timing. Okay, point number 5. Why now? And this is where I love this because this is what it's all about. Now, a lot of people have come to me over the years and they've said, Patrick, I know you're with Nu Skin. I want to talk to you about this new company. You can get in early. You can be one of the ground floor people in this company. And I look at them and I say, so what you're telling me is that in 10 years, the opportunity won't be there? You guys understand that? Whenever someone says that, this is what I say. I said, if you're telling me I have to be one of the first people, what you're telling me is the company isn't going to be anywhere in 10 years. The reality of it is our company's been around for 40 years. And you want to know the only difference between the people who start today and the people who started 40 years ago? What's the difference? Put it in the chat if you know. The only difference is they've been making money for 40 years. Because they started 40 years ago. But the opportunity and being an innovator or an early adapter is about you making the decision to start today. Because I looked at my life, when I started 20 years, I looked at my life 10 years forward. And I said, if I can be somewhere different in 10 years, I'm willing to go do this. And the reality of it is there's a statistic in our company that 95% of people that hit that blue diamond level, right, got there within 10 years by sticking with the company. Right? That's the difference. If you do this for 10 years and you're at a brand rep level, the statistic is that 95% of people will either reach $1 million in commissions as a circle of excellence or be a blue diamond. I'm like, okay, I can stick around for 10 years because you made the decision today, you'll be able to do that. Okay. And so that's what first movers' disadvantage is about you making the decision. It's not about being first in. It's about you saying, hey, I'm going to do this today. Now let's in regards to Prism. What if you go out and you build a team over the next 10 years that eventually, let's say you have 5,000 subscriptions, 50 Prisms, or you have, 500 Prisms with, one subscription. It doesn't matter how it looks, right? Or 10 subscriptions per, but let's say you have 5,000 subscriptions. That's $25,000 a month. By going out and sharing the Prism.io and building a team of people using and building the business and then having customers out there. And it's not about you, right? What if you go out and just have 50 Prisms with 10 subscriptions? That's $2,500 a month. You can do that on a super part-time basis. You go do 10 and you go find 4 other people to do 10. And you each get up to 10 subscriptions. Okay, that's 25. That's life-changing for people. My goal is to have 30,000 Prisms out in the world. Do the math. You know what will happen. That's my goal, right? In 50 different markets around the world, you guys. And we're launching these Prisms. Right now, we have about 300. next week at our convention, we're going to launch another 300 out. And then at the very beginning of December, we're going to have about 2,000 go out to our top leaders around the world. And I just found out just this week, you guys, the affiliate launch and then the customer launch, they're moving up that timeline to 2026 early. So this is going to happen, and it's happening. And the goal of the company is to have 10 million of these out into the world. So how many do you want? That's the question. Now let's talk quickly about India. I know many of you are excited. Many of you are in countries that really are close to India, and so this is important for you. You guys, India will be our 49th market that we're opening. Here's what's great about India, okay? India is going to give us the opportunity to go into a country with 1.4 billion people. It's a country where people are hungry to make money. It's a country where wellness is important. Their middle class in India is over 400 million people. That's bigger than the entire population of the United States, you guys. So imagine, just think of that, okay? One of the largest countries in the world, and then India has their middle class is bigger than that. Wow, right? So what's going to happen, you guys? It's going to be incredible. Now, it's not to say that India is the only play, right? Because you can build your business around the world. It will eventually lead to India. But India is going to be an incredible market. And we're super excited. I know I've talked with Irene and Pat and Marguerite and other people, and we are so excited about going into India. And so put your feelers out there. Who do you know from India? Who do you know in your country where you are from India that will have the ability to go in and build a business in India? You guys, I'd be putting those feelers out all over the place and talking to people and asking, who do you know from India? But the reality of it is, when I look at India, you guys, I have a different take on this. I look at the whole entire world. India will lead to the rest of the world. You guys understand that? What we're going to do with India, India will lead to back to Malaysia. India will lead back to the United States. India will lead into Europe. Why? Because it's a world economy, right? There are people around the world. And so it's not just about India, right? It will grow. Your business will grow around the world. India is just one play of that. But it's happening, and we're going to open up India here this next month with the pre-launch, and then next March will be the official opening of India. So now is the time to go out and start building and finding teams in India. Finding and looking for the people where you can go out into one of the biggest economies in the world, one of the fastest growing economies in the world. You know, they have the youngest youth movement in the world. Their population in the world, like their average age population is in their 30s. That's pretty incredible, right? Did you know that the average Blue Diamond and Team Elite started their business at the age of 32? Guys, it fits in perfectly in alignment. So the question we have for you today, you guys, is how you get started, right? You've gone through these 5 key points. You said, okay, I understand. I know that I understand the where Nu Skin is, their position in front of all of these trends. The company's amazing. We have the Prism IO and these amazing products that we're able to build a business with. Nu Skin pays. They pay more than anybody. In fact, $21 billion over the last 40 years. One of 2 companies to do this. And then the timing right now, you guys, is incredible with the Prism IO launching here in the next few months, or over the next few months, and the opening of India. All of this is coming together. So how do you get started? Well, you create your free account. It's free to do this business. And then you start your 90-day transformation. You're going to want to go get scanned with one of our biophotonic scanners. You're going to want to get on this product. You're going to want to start getting your story, raising your score. And you talk with the person that invited you, and whatever product is in your market that you're using, you're gonna go out and you're gonna get on that product, and you're gonna go out and you're gonna start sharing your story, and you're gonna start building your business. We share the product, we invite people to take the product, we then invite them to the business, and that's how we build our business. And we do calls like this one every single day, you guys, that you guys can plug into around the world, different times around the world. Feel free to plug into them, where you can invite people then to say, hey, look, you know what? Here's how you can participate in the business. I don't know much about the business, but you can plug into this call and you're going to learn a lot of information. And then we have meetings going on all over the world, you guys. I can promise you there's meetings in your area where right now people are going out and sharing the Prism IO, and they're showing it, and they're teaching people how to do the business. So ask the person that invited you, where's your local meeting? What's going on? Because I know here in the US, we're having them everywhere. I know in Malaysia and Southeast Asia, we're having them. I know in Europe, we're having them, South Africa, South America. You guys, they're all over the place. And so get with the person so you can go out and touch one of these and talk to people, shake their hand and meet people that have been doing this business. It's pretty incredible, you guys. And Irene, it's, you know, I encourage everybody to just like literally, you know, look at what we've just talked about. If this is something that's for you and you want to position yourself in front of this wave, then the timing is perfect. And so get with the person that invited you and say, hey, you know what, this is where I am. If you have questions, we'll get your questions answered. If you're ready to go, let's get your kit, let's get you plugged into our system, and then let's go out and create something amazing, because what we have going on right now, you guys, it's once in a lifetime. Well, it's not once in a lifetime. I honestly think Nu Skin will have another wave, right? That's just how we work. Over the years, we've done that. But for you, the timing is now to be able to catch this wave and change your life and have a life that you've always dreamed about. So Irene, thanks for having me on today. I hope there's some new people on here that saw this and are even more excited now, and because it is going to be a pretty incredible run. It's going to be pretty amazing.
Yes, thank you so much, Patrick. Yeah, wow, everybody is heated up with the energy together with yours. Yeah, and the passion, and you know, I'm really touched by what you know. I think you change even your daughter's life, right? Like you say, you single-handedly took care of her while you're doing Nu Skin. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you're the you're the prize winner father. Yeah, they say, you know,
Yes.
everybody can be a father, but you are a dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
a great dad. Yeah. So, and for us today, I think we have learned a lot of information, and also a lot of yeah. People say that your slides are so amazing and so wonderful. I'm sure a lot of the new ones here, and even the current Nu Skin distributors and leaders, are even pumped up even more after listening to you. Yeah, so we are so honored to have you here, and whoever is on, get back to the person who invited you, yeah, and talk to them how to get started, how to have your 90 days transformation and have a Prism IO in your hands and 50 people's hands, or another 500 families added together. Yeah. And before we end the session, yeah, thank you so much, Patrick. Everybody, give some flowers and hearts to Patrick for coming on today. Yeah. And, you know, so nice of him, you know, waking up in the wee hours of morning in Utah. Yeah. So before we end, let's take a photograph and also a video. So the first one will be a photograph. Okay. So everyone, put in your best smile to change our life together. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, next screen. Wow, so many of you today. Yeah. Next screen again. That. Okay, so we'll take a short video. Let's just wave everybody, or dance Bhangra. Let's just wave bye to everybody. Yeah. So we just take a video of everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in from all parts of the world, from United States to, you know, who knows, to Europe, to Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and all parts of the world. Yeah. So let's change our lives together, and let's build India, and let's build Prism IO. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Patrick.
you, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great day.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah,
thank you.
Unmute.
See you.
Yeah, you can unmute and say, can thank Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
And thank you,
Thank you
Patrick.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Patrick.
Patrick.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you
Thank you,
soon.
Patrick. Thank you,
Thanks,
Patrick.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Hi, Jay. Yes. Let's dance to our life. So get back to the person, and see you in 2 weeks' time. All right. And over to Rosalind for the next one with Philip Cheong.
Remember, I'll be interviewing Pat and Margaret Song and Philip Chong, okay? We'll see you
Yes.
in 2 weeks
Okay.
later. Bye.
The second
Bye.
debate. Bye.